We are getting closer to the truth about Ragnarok and our main girl Brynhilde, who by the way has all these scars on her body revealed in this official art. Does this connect to the man who will shake up Ragnarok, Siegfried, who was also revealed in this chapter? Chilling in prison as the boyfriend of Brynhilde, confirmed. Buddha is helping us get these answers because he's goated, also having a new look. Furthermore, consider this. Buddha, I would say, shook up Ragnarok quite a bit with his betrayal. Nostradamus did some wild things in destroying the Bifrost, having pretty significant build up already. And now Siegfried, who may have even more impact than both of them. We need to discuss how, and on top of that, we have 72 demons to talk about, round 9, and much more. Fix this graph by subscribing for more Record Ragnarok content, it's greatly appreciated. Now onto the final touches of build up and praise for both Beelzebub and Tesla, proving once again how monstrous they truly were. In my dedicated Beelzebub video, I pretty much talk about how he's virtually top 3, or there's a very strong argument for Beelzebub being in the top 3 strongest in the whole series thus far. This is clear with him being able to counter Tesla's final move, which has Hermes state, even I didn't expect it at all. Then on top of that, we have Zeus pull up and say, a blow that exceeded even the imagination of a god. Even I was completely taken aback. So even the likes of Zeus was shocked by Tesla's final attack, simply proving the praise Tesla actually deserves. Then Hermes goes on to state, if it weren't for Beelzebub, it would have been all over. Truly a terrifying person, no matter how you look at it. So just giving Beelzebub the praise he deserves in being able to counter a monstrous attack like that. So once again, Beelzebub and Tesla are around the top of the verse, some of the strongest characters we've seen in the series so far. And then according to the poll I ran for round 8, a lot of you think it belongs in the middle of the pack. I agree with this, but some as well also think it's around the top, which is cool to see. So as a whole, round 8 was quite solid. Now on to the next discussion, which is who's fighting in round 9. Unfortunately, that wasn't revealed whatsoever in this chapter. The scores after all this time are now even, so really anything could happen. We got no hints as Siegfried very clearly isn't going to be fighting in the next round. So who could it be? Let me know down below. I'm sticking with my original prediction I've talked about for like over a year at this point. We'll have to wait and see. The main point of this chapter is building up to the future of the story with the truth about Brynhilde, what's going on with Siegfried, Buddha's involvement in the future of the story. Pretty much just a transition chapter, which is always great to see, if not better than like actual fighting chapters. This was pretty amazing. I did like the panel where we get to see all the fallen fighters and what they represent. Of course, Hercules being justice, Poseidon being pride, Adam love, Hades dignity, Zero innocence, and Raiden passion, and then adding Tesla to the list as advance. Now the next thing to discuss is when Buddha pulls up on Brynhilde and they have their conversation with Buddha mentioning her ex-boyfriend Siegfried and how he's currently being imprisoned in Tartarus and for quite some time now. Why is this? We don't really have any idea. Brynhilde's only response to Buddha's question of whether there's any connection between Ragnarok and her ex-boyfriend is that Siegfried is not her ex-boyfriend, as I mentioned at the start of the video, meaning they are still pretty much together. Was it Brynhilde which resulted him to be sent to Tartarus? I don't really think so, giving us some ominous vibes. However, I don't think she was involved in that part. As I talked about at the start of the video, Brynhilde is confirmed to have all these scars. If you look at Siegfried, he also has all these scars. He's described by Buddha as the dragon slaying hero, which is common in any story Siegfried's mentioned in. Did they fight alongside each other at some time in the past, and during this fight that resulted in Siegfried getting sent to Tartarus, which is pretty much the main prison of the underworld, which was featured in the flashback for Hades. This chapter has pretty much just provided many questions. We get it confirmed that Siegfried is a half god, half human, so his connection to Brynhilde is quite important. He's part of the Norse group, like Brynhilde, so most likely connecting to Odin. Was Odin the one who imprisoned Siegfried for whatever reason? Did Brynhilde initially start the whole of Ragnarok for the sake of releasing Siegfried? These are just some of the questions that we need to get answered. However, considering the lines we got from Siegfried this chapter, I'm leaning towards the possibility that it was the gods who imprisoned him and that Brunhilde is trying to get him released in some way. This is because he says, "She seems so determined, but she tries too hard sometimes. Don't push yourself too hard," and he's pretty much giving off a smile here as he says her name. That doesn't really make me think that she was the one who put him down here. The gods definitely did it. I don't think Brunhilde would even have the authority to make someone imprisoned like this. So if I had to place my bet, I think it's Odin because Brunhilde is part of the Norse group. Siegfried is part of the Norse group confirmed here. Odin is kinda this, sussy individual currently. The common theory out there now is he's trying to become the supreme god. And he did kinda imply that he's the one who initially set up Ragnarok. So with whatever Odin's planning, it definitely connects strongly to Siegfried and Brunhilde and what's going on here. So how will Siegfried actually get released? In my spoiler video I made for the chapter a few days ago, I saw some comments pretty much providing the possibility that the likes of Kintoki will be the one to break him out, as in various mythology about him, he is pretty much regarded as a demon slayer, and we learned that Tartarus is of course in the demon realm, with him being guarded by these two demons who are part of the group known as the 72 Demons of Solomon, confirming that there's of course 72 demons, with them finding out that Beelzebub was able to win round 8. So imagine this, we had Kintoki pretty much enter the underworld as most likely a demigod as well, or maybe even half demon, half human, as that may be a reason of why he can actually enter this realm potentially. We don't know exactly, but Kintoki will most likely be very important. Him entering the demon realm, him pretty much pulling up on Tartarus, slaying all these demons to release Siegfried, and then we see both of them fighting their way out potentially. That could be pretty cool, and that's where we could have the introduction of Anubis, who, as I mentioned in my spoiler video, I think is going to look similar to these two demons for whatever reason. Then there's also a possibility that Buddha could be joining Kintoki and he could be fighting all the demons alongside them to release Siegfried. That would be a cool side little thing to cut to during the next fight. Imagine we have round 9, let's say it's Okita vs Loki as I've been saying, and then every other chapter or part of the chapters, we cut to Kintoki and Buddha fighting all of these demons, eventually finding Siegfried, and then in the future of the story when Siegfried arrives as the ultimate wildcard for humanity, then pretty much he ends up fighting Odin or something like that. That could be pretty crazy as Brunhilde for his volume. That's just a quick theory to think about, and honestly it would be pretty hype. But that's really everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Check out all the other stuff in the description, and that's it guys. Peace.